I don't know, man. How do you think we should start the show? I could ask, what God is? Even now, I feel like I'm fucking being rehearsed because we hit live.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it's hard. It's so hard not to
performing
pretend.
for the camera.
It's so hard not to.
Yeah,
Um.
it's a good way to start.
Yeah. All right. What do you think God is?
So several things happen in my head, and it goes back to hip hop. I think God's a woman for some weird reason.
No, I like that. Yeah.
But then I also think God is a universe.
Yeah, I like that.
God is your energy.
Yep.
There's just so many elements to it.
Perfect.
I don't think God is just a guy in the sky.
Right. That doesn't jive. So I'm with all of that. I think God is the highest level is all of those things, the highest level of consciousness, which we can't really comprehend. Actually, have you ever thought about like what consciousness is? Like, do you have a definition for consciousness? Because the book ones aren't very good.
I don't at all, actually.
They're conflicting. Like, you get like what's conscious versus what's intelligence, and what's alive and what's not. Like, it doesn't make sense a lot of time. But anyway, if you thought of your liver as having consciousness, and your fucking spleen and your this and your thymus and all these different things being their own, organs are one level of consciousness and cells are one level of consciousness, and they all accumulate up to different totalities, right? And all of those things end up being you. And then the one, when you keep going, who knows? We don't know how far, right? Like, I'm not trying to even guess how far. But when you go all the way, that's, you know what I mean? That's big G. But I do think that spirits and like little G gods exist too. And different, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's the lore and the stories. They go way too far back to be nothing. I don't know.
So you think about the little parts connecting to the bigger parts, and then there's a bigger part above us.
Yeah.
So everything is connected and everything is one?
Yeah. And that's what when we were talking earlier about the Einstein stuff, right? How I led into it, because I'm going, everything's nothing. Like, everything's 99.999 whatever percent, literally nothing, empty space, but we still have vacuum fluctuations and different things that really would suggest it's not empty, but we just keep with this empty thing, empty vacuum, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that just doesn't work. And when I go back, you go, okay, wait a minute. Where did that idea start, right? Like, the idea of empty space, relativity, where did it start? In where most scientists will go back to is the Michelson-Morley experiment in 1887.
Explain.
They were trying to see if, sound waves, right? Doppler effect. When an ambulance is coming towards you, it starts going up in sound, right?
Yeah.
Up in pitch. That's because the waves are getting compressed as they come towards you, but it's relative to the medium, right? Like, sound travels through air, right? So the movements and the frequencies and all that are relative to the air, and the waves will travel at the same speed through them. If I threw, here's a good one I did before. If I took a rock and I threw it out on that water, right? And the rock's fucking whipping that way at 50 miles an hour. And I took another rock and I dropped it straight down, the waves that would ripple out towards me will come to me at the same speed, regardless of how fast because it's the speed of the waves through the water, the medium. Okay. But Einstein's relativity says there's nothing there, and that the waves aren't moving relative to that water, that the waves are relative to you all the time. So,
okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, so imagine a surfer, all right? And there's a set of waves rolling towards him. If that surfer paddles into the waves, the frequency of those waves will increase, right? Like, they're gonna hit the waves faster than they would if they were sitting still.
Of course.
Does that make sense? Okay. Relativity says that it's the same speed no matter what. So as I go faster, those waves are still coming towards me at the same speed. And instead of saying that the frequency is altered like we do with sound, we say time is altered.
But you would say, my bad, if I'm jumping.
No.
The waves are still coming at you at the same speed. You're just going towards them, which is increasing the speed.
Yeah.
So you're, right?
Yeah. It's relative to the in-between.
Yeah.
to the stuff in between, right? Like to the sound is relative to the air. If I start running towards that ambulance, same
thing.
deal, right?
Yeah.
Right. But relativity doesn't. Relativity says no. It's just
okay.
Yeah. And that the waves are moving relative to the observer, and observer isn't defined, and yada yada, whatever. But it all comes through Michelson-Morley, right, in 1887. So they were trying to test if light had a medium, that it like an ocean, if the waves had an ocean, right? And it was like it's 1887, Edward Morley and Albert Michelson, and they did the experiment in their basement, where basically they were trying to, let me zoom back out and set a picture real quick too, because the model for the ether, have you heard that term?
No.
Okay.
Please share.
So the in-between, the ocean, is the ether. And for thousands of years, that was like the science, that there's, you know what I mean? That there's stuff in between everything. That we're fishing in an ocean that we don't really realize that we're swimming. And so when they went to go, where was it? That was testing, ether's the in-between, it existed for a very long time, and it wasn't ruled out until Einstein's physics. Okay. And so they were trying to test and see if they could determine the speed of the Earth through this ocean. Okay, so if the Earth's a boat in a river, they wanted to see how fast they're moving relative to the water. Okay?
Yeah.
And what they found was very, very little result. Okay? Very, very little difference. Way less than expected, and low enough for them to... Oh, when I say difference, I'm talking about the speed of light that they measured in each direction. So they measured the speed of light different ways. Because if it was like sound waves, the speed would change, blah, 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 right? And so no result. They're like, hey, we didn't get strong enough results. It could have just been equipment error. And so, but even in the conclusion of that paper, they make recommendations to future experimenters on like how to improve the methodology. Like, hey, don't do it in a basement. You know what I mean? Like this.
Start there.
But so their model that they were trying to test, their hypothesis, was that the river isn't flowing, and that the boat, the Earth, is moving through it. So the speed of the water should be the speed of the boat. Okay. But if the river is flowing, and you're just a leaf on that river, and you go to measure the speed of the water, it's gonna be zero. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that.
So that's literally it. And from that experiment, they say it's ruled out. And there was some other ones. There was there was some stuff in the 30s, whatever. We'll forget that. Does that make any sense?
No. But I get what you're saying, but it's
no. That's okay. That was super technical.
It's an old research, right?
Because we went God to the in between, right? And that's with the spirituality and stuff, that we were all one, and that there's actually scientific evidence that has been covered up, like to that effect.
Right.
So it's actually the guy that was quoted in the New York Times in 1919, when Einstein was like announced to the world, or to the U.S. really, like the first time he hits the papers, 1919. There's a guy quoted, Sir Oliver Lodge, that was a British physicist, I think, and he was all about the ether and the spirituality in the ether. And he had seances and wrote books about talking to his dead son through a medium using the ether to connect to souls.
Sounds like a great movie.
So, I don't know. Do you think that there's echo?
I was raised to think so. So, yes, I do, because that's how I was raised, to believe that there's something out there, and it helps me deal with, my loss of my grandma and stuff like that. Like, I just like to think that she's somewhere beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But also, I think shit just goes black.
Yep.
I think it's just black, bro.
What if it's both?
And then it's just whatever was the last thing in your mind?
Well, so yeah, I think kind of, yeah. I think so you have about some hallucinogenics like DMT?
Yeah.
So you have endogenous DMT, right? So you have DMT in your brain, and DMT has been referred to as the spirit molecule. There was a guy, man, I wish I could see his face. I wish I could remember his name. That wrote this book and did a whole bunch of studies on it. And I think in that last moment, I think DMT is the time molecule. Like, I think it gives you some sense of time somehow.
Okay.
And that when you have these releases or some interaction with DMT endogenously in like near-death experiences, real death experiences, right? Like that slows down that last moment into an eternity.
Ooh.
You know, and then you reabsorb into the whole.
No, that's interesting.
But there might be, because like ghosts and spirits and things like that. I wonder if like you've seen the movie. I know you probably have. Coco, you know that movie with the Halloween movie? Yeah. Like,
what color is the sky?
And that there's something to memory being tied to that spirit.
So you're saying that this is a theory, or this is what you believe?
That's a good.
I mean, I know it could be both, but like,
no, that's a great question.
6'7".
Do you think that was authentic?
What?
That 6'7" shit?
Uh-oh.
Dude, I watched that clip. And I'm like, it's not that, like, listen, I've seen plenty of these stuff that I'm like, okay, I'm just too old for that, right? Like, whatever, that's fine. That one, it's not funny. The song's not good. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this just seems like they're like, just look what we can make your kids do.
Yes. We're also very old.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just start there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rule that.
Not very old, but old enough to not get what the young people are doing, because what did our parents say when we were doing it?
Okay. Were we being subliminally influenced?
I'm pretty sure we were.
So that's what I'm saying. So is it more overt now? And this shit's just like, yeah.
Now it's just fun.
Now that
that's all you gotta do is make it fun.
Yeah, I keep trying. I'm like, my kid, and I'm so torn when my kid says that too, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's just like implanted in your head, but also, have fun.
All right, jump. K-pop Demon Hunters. Are you okay with it?
She was roomie for Christmas.
That's cool.
She still wears the jacket. She wore the jacket to the trampoline park the other day.
Awesome.
So even, you know what? Can we go with a more basic bitch example?
Go ahead.
Santa.
Okay.
I am so conflicted on telling my kid about Santa.
But did you do it?
No, it's still make believe to her, or it's still real to her.
You want to tell her that it's not?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel awful inventing more and more lies to cover up because I'm just like, you know why? Okay, I was traumatized.
I hear you.
I was traumatized.
Oh, no. What?
Because, well, I'm a little bit weird. That's okay. But when I was growing up, I'm like, yo, Santa's fucking real. Like, my dad's telling me Santa's real.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Don't say shit about it because my dad said it's real, and I love my dad. Trust my dad. Right?
Oh, no.
So, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm getting into
the first lie?
Yeah. And then we're standing in line to see Santa, and I was 10, and which is kind of old to still do the Santa thing. And he looked at me, he goes, "You still believe in Santa?" And I went, in that moment, I went,
who said that, Santa?
No, my dad.
Oh.
He said, "You still believe in Santa?" And I'm like, I know what that means.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I got played.
Yeah, that hurts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't want to play. I don't like playing my kid.
Oh,
I want her
man.
to have fun in the experience.
I don't know what to say.
You know, because it's, you know, there's a good, I remember doing this in fucking high school or whatever, where it was like, you go to one side of the room if you think yes, go to the other if you think no, right? Type of deal. And it was like, is lying okay? Right? And everybody went to no. I went to yes. They're like, you think lying's okay? I'm like,
it
Santa.
Depends.
Like,
Santa.
I'm like, Santa. Like, you all do Santa. Like, you all say, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. It's a lot.
You kill people's dreams.
It can be, like, it can be an okay lie. You know what I'm saying? But trying to say that the white lies aren't lies, they're still a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like she was asking, we were watching the Santa tracker. And it's like, so how does he do it? Does he point his finger? And you know what I mean? Like, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, he like comes down the chimney like super fast. And
oh, that hurts, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dang. But it's fun. I want her to have fun in it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I don't want her to be the kid in the class that's like, hey, you like a guy.
Yeah, no, that's actually terrible.
That's what I mean. But I'm like,
oh no, dude.
That's what
I gotta tell my son.
And that's what I feel like. That's why I feel like we get put in these rock and hard places all the time where we get forced into these false dichotomies, which is a make-believe, it's a red pill, blue pill, right?
Mhm.
When Neo gets offered the red pill and the blue pill, before I go on a tangent, what do you think do you have some opinion on the symbolism, whatever, between the pills?
No, I love the movie. It was
Okay. Well, so
Yeah.
I think that the pills are basically Neo is signing a contract when he takes one of the pills, right? Because they could both be poison. He doesn't ask what the pills are.
Mhm.
He doesn't. It's a false A or B when there could be more options. You know what I'm saying? So that's what when you get into Santa, you're forced into like, yo, my kid's got to be in the group or out of the group, and I got to lie to my kid to keep him in the group. Or,
dude, I never thought of this.
It's fucked.
That's crazy.
It's fucked.
Hmm.
I spent too much time.
Dude, I need to tell my son. I need to go home now.
But I'm like, you just explain, because here's the flip side of it too, is I think that there's a way to explain it that keeps it alive, right? If everybody was like, yo, telling the kids like, hey, we celebrate, like, you don't have to get rid of Santa. You can explain it as the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of giving. Like, hey, I
feel like it's too late though, because I'm fine with Santa being like a superhero.
Yeah,
and Superman's not real, but he made a big impact on your life. Batman's not real, but you love him. You love Spider-Man. Santa's right there, and he's the one who gives you the gifts. But just know he's not real. Oh no. I think my wife might be watching this now. I hope we're not a speaker. Oh no.
We were talking about how Santa made the trip every single year, and he gets down to every single kid and gives the presents and keeps his list. And you want to check before we keep going? But like, if we could, do you get what I'm saying? Like, if everybody could, then you wouldn't have to ostracize the kids, and you wouldn't have to lie to the kids.
Yeah.
But it's too late.
It's way too late. I don't even know what to do. That's really bad, dude. Because I was always thinking like Christmas was weird for me because we weren't allowed to have a tree because it's a sort of, I don't know. My dad was a preacher, and he didn't want us kneeling down to anything that wasn't Jesus, and So I love that my son has Santa.
Right, me too.
It's just like, but Dad, you do have to pull the carpet from under him.
At some point.
And it's gonna hurt. That sucks. Yeah. And if he's sitting there defending Santa in front of his friends in school, that's embarrassing.
That's what happened, you know what I'm saying? That's where I was at. And that's what I'm like, oh damn, now I gotta go back in on Monday and be like, so guys.
Yeah. We're all good?
Yeah, like
I brought cupcakes.
Fortunately I moved a whole bunch, so I just, you know what I mean? I just never told anybody about that. But
yeah, no, that's a thing.
So we just messed. This is that's kind of what I'm trying to do with Jesus. It's like explain to people that that's how I feel about it. Is that like, hey, that there was real people preaching this message that we're talking about, and that it's the spirit of rather than the thing.
I hear you.
I don't know. But it's got to take a whole group so people don't get ostracized.
When was the last time you've been to church?
To a service, or like to a church?
To a church, not for Easter. To a church to sit down.
Okay, to a church to sit down.
Outside, no. Sitting down. No, inside.
In mass.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's been a long time. I don't know. Gosh, probably. When's the last? At least a decade.
Okay.
At least.
Same. It's been a long time.
I went, like a year and a half ago. I was telling you a little bit before this that, I went and tried to talk to priests and preachers and all this. Before I went to Christian, I went to Catholic. Most of the time, like just showing up on a Monday afternoon or whatever, driving by and like, hey, I'm just going to go sit in the back and think. And maybe if I run into a priest, maybe I can chop it up for a minute. Great. The doors are always locked.
Interesting.
Always. I can't tell you, dude. I can't tell you. Like from having gone to at least 15 over the last year.
COVID, man.
Random times.
It's COVID.
But that's what I mean. If this is, because that's where I see like some hypocrisy in things where I go, if it is everything, right? If the afterlife is if what we're doing, do you get where I'm going with that? Like if you really believe, then you wouldn't lock the doors. Then you would believe God's protecting you, and that would keep the demons out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's
that you wouldn't have to lock the doors.
You're hitting a lot of good points, man.
You just might want to watch the microphone with your hat in the hood. That's all. I would say just move it.
Where is it?
Move it down because you're. I don't know if it's rubbing. You're right here. Back. No. You know.
All right.
Not to be.
All right. So yeah, why would the doors be locked?
All the time. All the time. I can't tell you how many I've gone to.
They said I trust God, but I can't fight.
That's what like. I don't know, but I honestly I would rather be wrong. I'd rather like. It would be great to go. Oh no, I'm in. I submit. Like. I just can't. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I hear you. I was raised to believe.
Yeah. What's a lighter one we can do? Oh, tell me, do you want to talk about your photography gig? Do you have anything to
yeah, man. To? So I do photography. It was a way of reinventing myself because I'm into art. So I do large paintings, and I got bored with painting. And I found that when I had a paintbrush, the room was very quiet. But when I had the camera, I talked to every single person in the room, everywhere. Yeah, no matter what the event, I'm always working the room really fast and quick, and it's a good vibe. And I just meet so many people. So the camera's given me a lot of joy. I taught my son how to use the camera. We have a photography club in his school. We have like 25 people that I'm teaching how to use these expensive ass cameras. Sony FX3, Sony FX6, Sony FX30, Sony A7 IV. Yeah, just a whole bunch of cameras and lenses, and
that's awesome.
And this third grade, like kindergarten to 8th grade, a lot of third graders.
What's your favorite painting?
My favorite artist is Cezanne. So all of his landscapes. Yeah, they're just fun. They're beautiful. Warms, cools. It's just fire. The composition's always amazing. Yeah, Paul Cezanne. My son's name is Cezanne.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So camera got me a lot of networking.
Yeah, tell me more about you gave me goosebumps when you said that shit. Like that it gets quiet, right? Like
you wanna hear something cool?
Fuck yeah.
All right, so with the quietness, because I paint in layers. I'm not a graffiti artist where I spray paint and then I'm just like make a masterpiece real quick.
Yeah.
I do the entire painting as an underpainting, no matter how big or how small. I do the underpainting first, and it looks like
what's that?
It looks like a kid made it.
A base layer? Yeah,
exactly. So it looks like a kid made it.
Okay.
The first day, right? Because it's a layer.
You're not like in lines. You're just
it's just as loose as you could possibly make it. You know, I love the first layer. It's always amazing, and then everyone looks at it like, "What? We hired him?" It's like doubt on the first day. It's enough to break the ice.
Yeah.
Because the second day, everybody's like, "Oh shit," you know. And then the third day,
now I'm hot day on.
Yeah, exactly. Then the third day, everybody's quiet again because it's like, oh, I already projected what I projected.
Yeah.
You know. And then I got to do my thing. So, yeah, it's cool seeing the doubt. It's quiet. Then you actually shock them. Then they're quiet again because they already doubted.
What medium do you like the best?
I used to love oils. Oils were my favorite.
On canvas?
Yeah, oils on canvas. But then you can't teach oils to people because, you know, kids shouldn't use it. You have to set up all the stuff. And if you get paint on anything, it gets real dirty.
Yeah.
So acrylics dry real fast.
Yeah.
So then I started teaching people how to do acrylics. So I would say my favorite is acrylics. But oils were so much fun.
So when you said quiet, everybody else gets quiet or you get quiet. And I'll give you an example of what I mean, because one of the things that I've been trying to figure out a way to make a video about to try to explain to people is, like I shared one of my drumming videos, and I'm not very good at drumming, but it was a nice replacement for me for video games.
Yeah.
And what I found that I was craving was something that took my full attention.
Yes.
Like whether it was snowboarding as a kid, whether it was whatever it was, I'm always seeking out something that gets me to turn off my thinking brain, and just be fully in my doing brain. And it's hard to find those things. Is that what is that? Does that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That's what painting is. So I usually like don't stop until it's done. So
I like that.
Yeah, my wife paints as well, and it could be like 12 hours nonstop, and then I just wake up and I'm like, oh shit, it's done. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Do you feel tired? Like, are you just in it?
No, I'm just in it.
Yeah. It's just, I love that.
Yeah, but I've been painting since I was like 4.
What if we could not even what if. This is how I prefer to phrase it first. How do we get to the point that what you described is what everyone does for a living, right? Like that I'm in it, I'm just enjoying because there's so many valuable things that people can contribute in society that like doesn't have to be stuck doing some bullshit for 95% of your waking life. Like,
you know what would happen? If everyone did what I explained, no one would take out the trash. It'd be a really stinky place.
Okay. No one would take out the trash.
That is a beautiful idea, and I think
that's good.
Yeah, I just don't know who has to take the trash out. Because I don't mind anymore because I do it so much, but it's a sucky job. If you have to get lost in taking out the trash.
I'm with you.
Who enjoys it so much?
I'm trying to think too, like commercial, like doing it all day, garbage and all that. Because like I'm thinking riding on a truck, so bad. Outside, not so.
No, I actually
it would be a lot of work though. Like
it's a weird ass thing, but I wanted to be a trash man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
don't want to stink, but
that's that stunk worse when I worked at McDonald's as a teenager.
Right on.
I did pavers for years.
Okay.
And built patios and did stonework and things like that, and just beats the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actually, I was telling you earlier, I dropped out of engineering school. I couldn't sit still anymore. I'm like, this is just fine. Like, my job's going to be sitting behind a computer. Like, when I realized my 3rd year in, I'm like, what I'm going to do every day is not what I want to do.
That's crazy.
Like,
yeah.
I just picked this because it would make money and my scores were good enough, right? Like, and I dropped out and did landscaping and was actually making decent money for the time. This was however long. I'm fucking old now, but I'm making like $18 an hour or something like that. My boss sent me up a cruise, and I was doing this, that, and the other, and it was deep. But with the student loans that I had just from going for a couple years, I couldn't live on my own.
Yeah.
I'm living with mom and dad, so that's where I'm like, all right, I just don't want to. Going to college was like, I just don't want to live with mom and dad anymore. Joining the military was like, I just don't want to live with mom and dad anymore.
That's a big sentence.
But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's no disrespect. Like, it's fine. It's just you want to go out and do your own thing, right? Like.
They weren't even that bad, hindsight, but just I couldn't stay, man.
Well, you know what it is? It's fear-based decision making. It's what sucks less? It's you like South Park?
Yeah.
It's a giant douche in a turd sandwich, right? Like it's always 2 shitty options all the time. You're like, where's the decent option in all this, right? And that's what I mean about people having a career too. Is like fucking something you want to pick. Maybe that like. Just at least having something available. I don't know, man. Fucking.
I don't know how you would do it.
Well.
Everybody's going to be a cameraman?
I'm going to give a 2-minute ramble on this one.
Go ahead.
Because I think that we could actually build an AI system, and I have details on it, whatever. Because right now we're using information like we were talking about earlier. We're outsourcing our decision making rather than outsourcing the information gathering, right? Like if we could outsource the information gathering and the collection and distribution of information that you could access to make a decision, with robots and all this kind of shit, like people are gonna be out of jobs anyway. Like this conversation. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? What do you think? You think universal basic income? Do you have an opinion?
If people are going to be out of jobs?
Well, if you think people should get like a universal
No.
basic income, okay.
I mean, you're gonna ask me why, and I don't have an answer.
No, that's it.
But I think a lot of people, and the harder workers aren't getting more money now, just period. But there's a lot of people that work a lot harder than others that I think they should be getting what they put out.
I agree with you, but I don't think it should cost money to live. Right?
It shouldn't, man.
So instead, because that's the idea, is like, yo, if people are just like resigned to the idea of it's gonna cost money.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can't make money, well, then I have to be given money, right? Because I have to pay to literally live. Like, otherwise you die. You can't have food, you can't have water, you can't have a place to live. So what if those things were just available? You know what I'm saying? Like
food, housing.
Yeah, like and not through like a fucking strip mall, like just people, like if we just erase current memory and like just think about people living in tribes and shit, right? Like everybody's just working together with money, everybody's just working together to survive. Now just add in AI where they can do whatever the fuck they, you know what I mean? Like where you can outsource so much of that and you can be, you know, you can paint, you can do whatever. So if we had a system where your voice got you paid, so giving your, if like even now when you go on, when we're doing this, right? Like my page isn't monetized, I'm not getting paid. But if everybody could, for giving their opinion, not on getting people to listen to their opinion, but just on giving a quality opinion, you get paid. So if we had a single, I'm just going to use a social media example to be a basic bitch, but it would be something different. But if we had like a social media, you know, if you went on Facebook and could like really have, you could see your politicians' opinions, you could see their history, you could see government decisions, like you could access all of this information
simply. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then if you have that kind of system that reflects the will of the people, right? Basically basically almost like a collective consciousness that you could interface with, right? But one that you understand isn't taking over humanity, like, because that whole thing's nuts.
Are you saying ChatGPT is taking over humanity?
I'm saying that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to eradicate human thought, but they are us and them at the same time. That's how it gets fucking weird to explain, because like the will of the people right now is to not think. Like that's, if when you give people, the majority of people, a decision. And there was a study done. I forget who did it, and I wish I knew the definitions better because I couldn't find the original paper. I think it was behind a paywall, but it was published in the Harvard Business Review, where they asked people like, "Are you self-aware?" And then they put them through a test on whether or not they're self-aware. So people that were asked, 95% said, "Yeah, I am self-aware," right? And based on their criteria, only 10 to 15% actually were. So that's why when we get into like the definition of consciousness versus self-aware and all that.
How do you prove you're self-aware?
They have so I wish I knew the criteria.
Isn't that like I'm self-aware, so I'm self-aware?
Gosh, that's such a good question. It really is. I could get stuck on that one.
Wonder what the questions were.
I want to know too. I've been trying to find them. I've been trying to get the paper. If anybody knows what the paper is, send me a paper.
Do you know you're here right now? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like
question one.
But you know what? Okay, my litmus test for this one is when you ask someone about something, whether they defer their decision. If I ask somebody about physics and you go, "Well, Einstein said," "Well, this says," "Well, that says," well, fine. What do you think? Because I've noticed that that's often people not think, they're like, I just don't want to think about it. Because if I think about it, I might get to an answer I don't like. So instead of thinking about it, I'm just going to say, well, this person, I'm
the report says, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if we use that as a criteria. But anyway, people don't want to go through that. They don't want to, you see what I'm saying? Like they don't want to think about it. So they want their decisions outsourced. So that is what's happening.
I agree.
It's also what the elite want to happen too. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we very much want that as a society because of the propaganda.
Okay.
So I think, the elites. I always I like to use Voldemort. I just say Voldemort for fucking, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't know who we're talking, Jesuits, Freemasons, I don't know, whoever. Voldemort.
Gotcha.
Voldemort doesn't want us to think either, and we don't want to think, so they're leading us to this path. But like, we have to think. I don't know, man. Get fucking lost on that one. Does that make any
There's
sense?
so much to it. Yeah.
But I think we gotta. I think the only way out of it is just to think, but encourage people to think.
Encourage people to think. And I, as a teacher, I think a lot of thought, creative thought, not even creative thought, sorry, a lot of inner thought comes from creativity and being well-rounded and being able to problem solve without having to ask somebody else. Like, you can figure this one out, you know?
You ever thought about the moon landing?
No. No. I've seen videos and how terrible it looks, and
I know
it looks like a studio.
Yeah,
you know, it is what it is. But
so many.
What are the odds? I don't know.
Well, I wish there was a better way to communicate that. Like, I could be convinced either way, but I'll still give you an opinion. Like,
okay, I got you.
Yeah, like, because I think. But listen, there's other shit that says we went to Mars and all kinds of wild stuff, wild stuff out there. So I have no idea. You can convince me either way. The reason where I went there and I jumped over there was talking about creativity level.
Mm-hmm.
NASA did a study in 1968 where they, I forget I don't know the criteria here either, but that's right. They were trying to give, they give kids a problem and like made them into an atypical solution somehow. I forget how, but it was a measure of creativity, right? And kindergarten kids were 98% genius level creativity. And by the time it got to like, I don't know, the kids were 15, I don't know, older, they were down to like a 2% creativity.
Interesting.
And if that was a problem for the people doing the study, don't you think more people would know about that? You know what I mean? Like, hey guys, problem, stats are bad, but instead it's like, stats are fine.
Stats are stats. Like, I'm so glad we did the research.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who our Secretary of Education is? This isn't fun. I know most people don't know this one. I ended up on this rabbit hole on accident. Linda McMahon. As in...
The McMahon? The wrestler?
The wife.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's wife.
Oh, wow.
Who was a co-founder of WWE, too.
Yeah.
Like, she was in all these positions. She is the Secretary of Education. He's been implicated in some, some essay stuff, too. But I have no idea. I haven't looked that one up. But here's an interesting... Actually, do you have a thought on what level of education teachers should have?
It depends.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would like to say college, but I would say anyone who is excelling, it's just hard to explain, but anyone excelling in their field should be able to come back and teach about it.
Love that. In New York State, but let's just talk about what it is, right? Like in New York State, you need to have your master's within 5 years of starting teaching. So even kindergarten, within 5 years, you need to get your master's.
Okay. Dang.
Our Secretary of Education only has a bachelor's. It's in like French or something like that. It was like small business liaison or something, whatever position before. And it's like, how can the secretary of it's like, oh, it's a business. You're running a business. You're running a business. 100%. That's it. And it would be fine if the profit was in quality.
Yeah.
But the profit isn't, but the I don't know. The profit, it's dollars and they're fucking killing you for it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to say it. I don't know. What do you think? We wrap this up in a minute?
Wrap it up now. I think that was dope.
That was great.